I'm gonna go. I didn't have a choice on here because out of the West, I had just stuck with it was either going to be the Rockets or the Warriors. Rockets or the Warriors. They were on, and obviously I knew they were going to meet in the second round. But the winner of the second round is basically who's going to win the Western Conference Finals and move on to see, in my opinion, to see the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA Finals. But I'm gonna stick with the champs. I'm gonna go back to what I always have felt. If you're the champs, until someone changed that, hey, we got to go with the champs. Especially, but in this particular case, how Houston, always seems like they always implode for something that's going on. PJ Tucker struggled, someone else struggled for the Houston Rockets. I mean, and don't get me wrong, they're down 2-0. If there's one team that could come back and scare the living bejesus out of the Golden State Warriors, it is Houston. If there's one team that could come back and win this series, it is Houston. But they definitely got to do it in Game 3. But they're going home, so they're going to have that same kind of energy waiting for them that the Boston Celtics have with their fans, and they got to do something with it. They got to do something, just something. Do something. What we are going to do now, we're going to hit up another break real quick. And then we're going to come back and talk about an NBA rumor, and then we get into Monday Night Football. There's been an announcement in Monday Night Football, and then I'm going to put my life on the line and do the Big L Award, so you don't want to miss that. It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie. It's going down Wednesday night, hump night. I'm tucking you in with your sports fix. This is the Wait a Minute Show, and we'll be back after these words.
We don't take orders from super fools. We give them.
X gon' give it to you.
Any and all resistance will crumble. Nonsense. There's never been a threat.
Squad.
Couldn't handle. It is the purpose of the
Squad.
to align our infamous forces against the powers of good and defeat them, leaving us, the rulers of the world.
All music artists, lend me your ear. Looking for that hot beat to make your next hit? Go to farrelljaromusic.com. Tired of paying for overpriced studio time for mediocre beats? Go to farrelljaromusic.com. farrelljaromusic.com offers industry-quality hip-hop, trap, R&B, and pop beats that will take your creativity to the next level. We know it's hard to find dope beats out there, so don't waste any more time searching YouTube for whack beat-selling websites. Go to farrelljaromusic.com today to cop the beat for your next hit. Mixing and mastering services available too. Once again, go to farrelljaromusic.com. That's FARROJARRO music.com for the hottest beats in the game.
Yo, what's good? This is Trey Frazier on Phil Staff. This is the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Sure. Make sure y'all tune into us every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, book it!
And him, he's along for the ride. But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before. The Wait a Minute Show, a new way of discussing today's trending sports topics. And now, back to the show with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie.
Lopan. Normally I come back, in the music and indie, and all that stuff, but I'm gonna do it a little bit different. How about this one? Indeed. Does that work? Indeed. Okay, all right. I changed it up, a little pitch, in there in the middle. I didn't know if you were going to notice that or not. Indeed. Okay, all right. Let's check it. So we're back from the break, ladies and gentlemen. I told you we were going to talk about a rumor that's going on in the NBA that's just been talked about, and that is this was on CBSSports.com. So there is a rumor out there. And, well, let me just say what it is. Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and they said Tobias Harris as well, are considering possibly playing for the Brooklyn Nets, going to Brooklyn. And this is a little bit of a surprise because, remember, KD was rumored to go to New York. And that was all about, with the Knicks and everything. But no one has really said anything about the Brooklyn Nets. But now, here it's a rumor, though. It's a rumor. But the reason this rumor plays out for us to talk about and for people to actually really think about is the success of what the Brooklyn Nets had this season. Now, D'Angelo Russell, all-star for the first time. You've seen how his game has matured. You see he is the, guy on this team. Karis LeVert, Allen, you got Wolf. You got Shooter and Wolf, on this team. And you got veteran presence, guys like Jared Dudley and all that stuff. But you got some young guys that are hungry. Dinwiddie, I almost forgot about him. But you got guys that's on this team that's hungry. You got guys on this team that should just get better for this team. And to me, Brooklyn is more ready. No, it's not even to me. I think it's for the rest of the country. Is that Brooklyn is in more of a position to actually make a run sooner than later if these guys are actually thinking about going there. Now, this is the thing, with rumors, is that sometimes they're completely untrue. Sometimes it's I'm just thinking about it. But regardless, with this rumor, if they were, you still got some problems. D'Angelo Russell, he's going to have to take a step back. Is he going to want to do that, for this team after he's just getting himself acclimated, after he's just finding himself, after he's just having his own personal success, going to an NBA All-Star game. And then also, he got the reason that they got to the playoffs is partly because of him. So, it wouldn't be up to his decision, but would he even like the situation of relinquishing that to a guy like KD or, Kawhi, But you got to think also, if they are coming in, and let's just say Tobias is coming there with him, maybe they're, I hope they wouldn't, but maybe they're shipping D'Angelo out. I don't know. But this report is something, to talk about, especially at bringing up New York. Obviously, Knicks fans aren't going to like, hearing anything like that. But they, in this report, they were talking about, and I said trade, so I meant, release. And they were saying if the Nets were to renounce their upcoming free agents, and D'Angelo Russell was one of them, and then try and get rid of Alan Crabb's contract, they could open the door for all three of these guys, or at least two of them, and have two max players. Brooklyn looks pretty good right now, as far as like a landing spot. If I was KD and I wanted, everybody was talking about he wants to play in New York. Now, the thing that throws this off is that, the rumor is that Kawhi wants to play in LA, so I don't know why he would end up playing in New York, or if anyone could convince him to play in New York. But everything was talking about KD wanting to go to New York, help his brand out, plan for the future and do all these other things, inside of basketball and outside of basketball. And that's what the city of New York was going to be able to do for him. If you are seriously thinking about it, to me, Brooklyn is a good place. You put D'Angelo Russell with KD. If you can get Tobias, Karis LeVert, like I said, Dinwiddie, you got some guys. But that's why it's a rumor. because we don't know if it's true or not. We have to wait to find out. Now, where Brooklyn is on that list, I should say, for KD and the rest of these guys, I'm not going to put it high. I'm going to put it, kind of somewhere in the middle. It's just like, what? You said what? What? Brooklyn? Okay, maybe. This next one, I mean, you just tell me if you heard this. So Monday Night Football, we all know Jason Witten is no longer on there because he decided to go back to playing football. Now, as part of that, him missing a game of football, I'm sure. But I think some of it is, too, that, they were giving Jason the business, as we say, on social media with some of the things that he was doing and saying out there. And I just think you got to be careful Monday night because you attract so much attention because you are the only game that's on. And it is a primetime game. So and people do make time, to watch these games. So you have to have a product out there, not only just on the field, but in the booth as well. And what ESPN has done for Monday Night Football, they have themselves a new commentator team. And they basically took one guy off the field to put him in a booth, and then they added a third person. Well, I guess, she's been there regardless. But Joe Tessitore, he's not going anywhere. But they put Booger McFarland into the booth, and Lisa Salters will also still be there to support them as well and be a trio of commentators for the game. With this thing with Monday Night Football, they have been very, very outside of the box. Let's just say that. And you have to be careful about that. I give you a couple names. Remember when Dennis Miller was on there? Dennis Miller at one point, he was hot. He was everywhere. Everyone was talking about Dennis Miller. And they decided we're going to go a different angle. We're going to put him out there. We're going to have him crack these jokes and all this stuff. Well, the problem is that we didn't come to see a comedy show. We tuned in to see a football game and you not make a joke out of everything. So that didn't go over too well. He was one and done. Then another one that they had was Tony Kornheiser. I love Tony Kornheiser, but I love Tony Kornheiser on Partner Interruption. That worked out with him and Wilbon because it wasn't him and Wilbon watching the game. So that was a one and done. And there's been some other people, been on there. They've missed out on guys, like Tony Romo. If they had got Tony Romo before you got to CBS, they might have struck gold here just like they have over at CBS. And I don't know. It has to be, to me, it has to be easy on my ears. I was talking about maybe a week and a half ago, I was talking about Doris Burke. And someone made the comment, to me about, how I feel about Doris Burke. She's very easy on my ears, if that makes sense. You want to be watching the game and you want to, you hear the person, but you don't hear the person. So they're easy on your ears. And that's what Doris Burke is. I don't know if I'm going to get that from this team. We may be looking at, next, and I think we will be. We're probably going to be looking at next year of at least one new person, on this team. But the Monday Night Football team right now is Lisa Salters, Booger McFarland, and Joe Tessitore. So we'll see how that works out in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the show, and I told you